the ability of the seed to be able to grow and fully express itself is actually predicated on what degree to which the one that is planting it is able to exercise the good judgment to make sure that the conditions are right, that we've actually put it in the best place for it to fully succeed. That if we know where the sun is coming from, and so you actually have to take the time to properly orient yourself. You have to know where you are, right? You have to know where you are. You have to be able to position yourself. And then you have to assess all of the conditions. It requires some understanding as to whether or not it's the right time to plant. So you have to have some awareness of the seasons, right? Will the weather accommodate it? Will the climate accommodate it? There is being in possession of the knowledge. There's being in possession of the information. Then it's a matter of being able to actually exercise the good judgment and putting the information to use, right? To actually exercising that knowledge. And these are the same things that certainly apply to many aspects of, again, our communal lives. That there is a certain level of good judgment that has to be exercised in being able to put the knowledge that we have available to us and being able to understand the context within which we're operating, being able to determine whether or not the environment, the habitat that we find ourselves in, whether or not it's going to be able to accommodate what it is that we have in mind, and whether or not what it is that we are endeavoring to do, if it again is appropriate for the time and the place that we find ourselves. So, I mean, this is why this engagement in the activity of cultivating land is so important, because again, the same principles, the same ethics, the same skills, all of these things, they translate. You have to be able to take all of these different components and put them together in a way that makes sense. And that's oftentimes going to be shaped by conditions that are not under your control, right? Some things are under your control, but a lot of it isn't. So you have to be able to, again, exercise the good judgment in determining whether or not what it is you have in mind to do is appropriate in that time and in that place. That is very much a part of the process of cultivation. And only then, when you're able to make these determinations, will seeding make sense. And sometimes I believe we have a very mistaken understanding of what it is, again, to plant a seed and what's involved in doing that. It's a much more nuanced process. It requires a lot more in the way of our ability, again, to exercise good judgment, to put into use knowledge. Hopefully the knowledge is appropriate, right? Is appropriate for what it is that is being intended and what it is that's needed. And that if we don't possess the knowledge or the skill, that it's something that we have to be willing to learn. It's something that we have to actually go seek out. And if we are able to, if we exercise a willingness to go seek what it is that we don't know so that we can actually better perform this function, then this is what will open the door to our being successful in our cultivation, right, in this activity. Cultivation involves exercising good judgment. It involves being able to connect the dots, so to speak. And this is a skill that needs to be developed. And in part, if our practice of religion does not encourage us or permit us or prepare us to exercise good judgment, then our ability to be able to produce or generate favorable outcomes is going to be greatly reduced.